Let's try to do this as quickly as we can because there are many steps. I'll try to explain them one by one as best as I can. If you're not familiar with any of the programs I use here, you can search for tutorials on YouTube. There are thousands available. First, we need to have a preconceived idea of what we want to create. In this case, we want to create an animation of a cosmonaut riding a horse. If we type a prompt with those details, we'll get countless results, but we won't have total control over what we really want. That's why we need to use ControlNet with a reference of exactly what we want. But we still need the cosmonaut riding a horse. Well, for that, we're going to use Daz 3D. Here we can create the base animation. I want to pause and say that you don't have to follow these steps exactly. This is my workflow, and there may be other less complex workflows out there. If you know of any others, leave a comment here. Let's continue. In another tutorial, I explained how to download models from Daz. In this case, we're looking for a horse and a cosmonaut. We assembled a scene and place each one in their position and pose. Now, let's animate. In this case, we're going to use 12 frames as a reference for the movement of a running horse. So, our animation will have 12 frames, or 12 images. Once we have the animation ready, we export it frame by frame as PNG files with transparency. Now, let's do a first test in Stable Diffusion. We're going to use Image to Image and ControlNet. We place the reference image and configure ControlNet as follows. In my case, I used IP2P and Canny with a weight of 1, and we activate ControlNet is more important. We type our prompt and the negative prompt, select the sampling and size, and leave the denoising strength at 0.75. We generate and see the result, adjusting some parameters if needed. The next step would be to create the moving environment. In this case, I used Cinema 4D, but you can use any other software. The idea is to move the background to create the illusion of movement. Once we have everything ready, we compile it in Photoshop, and here comes one of the most important parts. If we generate our images separately, not only will it take longer, but the results will also vary more. That's why we're going to generate images in groups of 4. We export them and go back to Stable Diffusion. Here, we repeat the same steps we did before and start generating the images. In my case, since I have a not very powerful graphics card, I used InPaint afterward to improve the result. Once we have everything generated, all that's left is to separate the images again. Now, we can go to After Effects. Here, we adjust the sequence speed to 24 frames per second. The same for the imported images. Our characters are now moving. Here, we can add effects, color correction, and more. When we're satisfied with the result, we export the animation and load it into DaVinci Resolve. Here, we reduce some of the flickering in the image. Follow these steps. It's very simple. To select the plugin to use, press Shift plus Spacebar on the keyboard. When we finish exporting, our animation is ready. Optionally, we can further enhance the video using Topaz AI. I hope you liked the video. If so, leave a like, And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe and support me to continue creating content. See you in the next video. Keep creating.